All right, welcome to your weekly briefing on everything AI. This week, things got, well, really personal. We're talking about AI getting direct access to your health data, some wild new tools that might just replace your keyboard, and, you're not going to believe this, a 90s video game that's become the ultimate test for the smartest machines on the planet. So, let's get into it.
And look, we're not just talking about little tweaks and minor updates here. From your personal fitness to the way we build software itself, the tools and trends we're going to cover today, these are fundamental shifts. They're changing how we're all going to interact with technology, for sure. And we're going to start with the most personal frontier of all. You know, AI is moving out of the cloud and the abstract, and it's getting right into our daily lives, onto our devices, and even into our bodies. So let's see what that actually looks like. First up, Anthropic's Claude is getting a huge medical upgrade. Right now, in beta, it can connect securely with services like Apple Health. So just think about that for a second. An AI that can instantly pull up and summarize your entire medical history, explain complex lab results in plain English, and maybe even spot patterns in your fitness data that you and your doctor might have missed. Meanwhile, over at OpenAI, they're trying to figure out how old you are for safety reasons. Their new model isn't looking at your photo or anything like that. It's analyzing your behavior. You know, what time of day are you active? How long has your account existed? Stuff like that. And if the AI flags you as a potential teen, bam, you get content restrictions until you prove you're an adult with an ID. It's a really interesting new way to approach safety that raises all kinds of questions. And speaking of younger users, Meta is being way more direct. They're just shutting down access to their AI characters for all teenagers, everywhere. The idea is to bring back a safer, more age-appropriate version later that has parental monitoring tools and focuses on things like education or hobbies. So, you see the trend here, right? All of this brings us to a really crucial question. From our private health data to our day-to-day online behavior, we're being asked to give AI unprecedented access to our lives. The question is, where do we draw the line? Okay, now let's zoom out a bit from the personal to the corporate. The battle for AI dominance is really heating up, and you've got the tech giants making these massive strategic chess moves to get ahead. In a head-to-head matchup, the fight between ChatGPT and Gemini is fascinating. Turns out, ChatGPT has a way better sense of humor. It's the king of dad jokes. But you'd probably want Gemini giving you medical advice. And hey, well, they both can give you video game tips. You should probably ask ChatGPT how to land a plane. It just goes to show you, there's no single best model yet. It really depends on what you're trying to do.
Get ready for this number, $1 billion. That, according to Sam Altman, is what OpenAI made in a single month from a side hustle that has nothing to do with ChatGPT. It's an absolutely mind-blowing figure. It shows their business is way more diverse than people think, and it's probably being driven by all those API services that thousands of other companies are now building on top of. All right, next up, there's this major trend going on called the acqui-hire. Instead of buying a whole company, the big guys are just swooping in and hiring all the key talent. Google DeepMind just did exactly that with a company called Hume AI. They grabbed the CEO and top engineers who are famous for creating voice AI that can actually read emotions. This is a monster upgrade for Gemini's ability to hold a conversation, but it's a trend that's also starting to get some serious side-eye from regulators. And here is maybe my favorite story of the week, because it just shows you how fast this is all moving. Anthropic, one of the top AI labs, they have a problem. Their own AI, Claude, has gotten so good at the coding tests they give to new hires that they have to keep making the test harder. The new benchmark to even get their attention, you have to be able to code better than their most advanced model. Wild. Okay, so with all this power, what does that mean for you? Right now, let's do a quick fire round of 4 brand new tools that could totally change how you work, like starting this week. Now that is a bold, bold statement. It's from the creators of a new tool called Wispr Flow. I mean, think about it. For more than 100 years, that QWRT keyboard has been how we talk to computers. That might finally be about to change. All right, 4 tools, let's go. First, Wispr Flow wants to kill the keyboard. It turns what you say into perfectly polished text 4 times faster than typing. Next, for any founders out there, Noom is basically an AI CFO for your startup. It handles the numbers so you can focus on building. Third, Hamala is your AI meeting assistant. It preps you with notes from past calls. And finally, AI Diagram Maker is just magic. You describe a system in plain text and it just draws the professional architecture diagram for you. So far, everything we've talked about are tools that help us do our work faster or better.
But the next massive shift is toward AIs that just do the work for us. This is what people are calling the agentic future. So it's super important to understand what an AI agent actually is. It is not just another chatbot. An AI agent is a program that can operate on its own. It understands a goal, it makes decisions, and it takes actions in the digital world or even the real world to get that goal done without you having to guide it every step of the way. And this isn't science fiction, it's already happening. Take software development. GitLab is building AI agents to manage that whole workflow. So a developer just commits their code, and then the agent takes over. It does the reviews, it runs security checks, it fixes small problems, and then it deploys the code. The human isn't out of the loop. Their job just shifts up to a higher, more strategic level. And the next level is already here. You can think of it like AI middle management. We're now seeing AI agents whose entire job is to manage other AI agents. Tools like Cursor can take a really complex coding project, break it down into smaller pieces, and then hand off those tasks to specialized sub-agents that all work on the problem at the same time. For our last section, let's look beyond the tools of today and peek inside the research labs. What are the really big, fundamental problems that they're trying to crack on the way to creating true artificial general intelligence? So this quote, it comes from Demis Hassabis, the CEO of DeepMind. He says the single biggest roadblock for AI right now is what he calls a goldfish brain. Today's models are geniuses in the moment, but they have terrible long-term memory. They can't really plan ahead, and they don't learn from experience over time. So, how do you test for something like that? The answer, and I love this, is Pokemon. Seriously, the top AI labs, OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, are all using this old Game Boy game as a key benchmark. Why? Because you can't win at Pokemon with just quick reflexes. It takes long-term planning, you have to explore a huge world, and you have to build a strategic team over many, many hours of playing. It's the perfect test for the exact skills that current AI is missing. And here's where things get really mind-bending. There's a concept being explored called recursion language models. The basic idea is this. What if an AI facing a really tough problem could basically say, you know what, I need some help, and then create a temporary team of specialized copies of itself? Each copy would handle one part of the problem and then report its findings back to the main AI. It's a way for an AI to literally delegate its own thinking. And all this leaves us with one final thought. You know, we have this image of AGI arriving like some Hollywood movie villain with a big dramatic announcement. But that's not how it's going to happen. The reality is, it's just going to show up quietly, one day, as a software update you barely even notice. So the question isn't if that update is coming. The question is, are you ready for it?